from the same people who brought you God's Not Dead. I think that pretty much sums up the review. Faith of Our Fathers is the name of the film. It follows a couple guys on a road trip once they find out that their dads were in Vietnam together, and kind of follows their journey of discovery about their fathers and their heritage, as well as about themselves and their own relationship to God. It comes to us from the same people who did God's Not Dead. And yes, I think that tells you everything you need to know. If you enjoyed that movie for its message and it meant something to you, you might find that here as well. If that movie offended you because of the way it painted people who don't believe the same way Christians do, or if the poor movie making sent you away, that's going to be the same here. A lot of those same issues. In fact, I think this movie is even more poorly made than God's Not Dead. So let's get to the specifics of the movie making, leaving aside kind of the politics and the preachiness of a film like this. The movie making is really bad here. It's very much play acting. All the dirt in the Vietnam War scenes on the knuckles feels like it's painted on. Nothing feels lived in. Like there's a streak of dirt here that you can tell somebody just took their finger and streaked some dirt there, rather than somebody who's been in the jungle and dealing with crawling in the mud. It just didn't feel real. The costuming felt like it was bought at a costume shop. Nothing felt authentic. That goes to the performances as well, which here are ridiculously over the top. The guy who plays the grumpy agnostic is like something straight out of a melodrama or something. It's just like, who is that person? I don't know that person in my life. And you can tell he's play acting. It was the same guy that played the main character in God's Not Dead. Not the professor, but the preacher guy. And it's just like, I can tell you're doing a skit here. You're not acting. I just didn't buy it for a second. So it's just not a well-made film. If the message appeals to you, which by the way, even the message is a little abstract here, for all the talk about God and Jesus and giving your heart to God, there's not a lot of correlation to what that means in their life, other than coming to peace with possibly who their dads were. But I'm not sure why that means something to these two main characters. I think at its heart, it's supposed to be a comedy. I think we're supposed to laugh at a lot of this. There's this Duck Dynasty cameo again in this, just like there was in God's Not Dead, that is, I think, supposed to be funny, but it just lands flat. And that wasn't just me. There were no laughs in the theater, and I'm assuming people there were there, to enjoy it instead of there to critique it, like I often am. So I just think this movie fails in a lot of ways, even more than God's Not Dead did when that came out. Overall, this is just not a great movie. It's not one that is made well. In the only way you're going to enjoy this, the only good thing, I guess, if I pick a best thing, other than that, if you want to do Mystery Science Theater, you could probably find some fun stuff. If I had to pick a best thing, the only thing I can think is if the message resonates with you that deeply that you can ignore all that other stuff, that would be it. But if that's not you, don't worry about it. Just let this movie exist in some other parallel universe for you. It's just not worth your time. Overall, I would give it a D-. Thanks for your time and checking out this Your Movie Friend review. Man, those reviews are hard for me. I probably get more exhausted trying to talk about faith-based films than any other kind of movie I review. Having said that, we're going to do a pretty cool best ever challenge about them here at the end, so stay tuned for that. If you'd like to click the cards, you can find links to the website as well as other reviews that have happened recently. Also, if you donate, you can donate there. Put in the comments something you'd like me to review. Every month I pick something from those that support the station and review that. Follow me on Periscope, Aaron Dicer, and I do reviews right after I come out of the movies there and have interaction, take questions and comments. That's been a lot of fun. You can also search for Sift Pop or Shoe the Dough on iTunes or Stitcher and listen to some fun pop culture podcasting that I've been doing recently. On to the best ever challenge. What is the best faith-based film ever? Since I feel like I spend a lot of my time trying to figure out these movies and why poorly made movies like this make it to the Cineplex, even as much as I believe in some of these messages. What is one that did it right? What is a great faith-based film? I'd love to hear your comments on that in the comments, and you can take a guess at mine. I'll give you a clue. A clue for my best ever would be that it involved racing in circles. Yep. That's all you're going to get from me. Take your guess in the comments. Also, let me know yours. I'd love to have that conversation with you. And as always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit subscribe.